Okay, so even though he has this energy, he has the maturity to know what's right and what's wrong. And if you're with a guy like this, you should be looking for that maturity. And in order to really understand it, you have to have it yourself. Because again, remember, we talk about this all the time. People generally marry their mirror. And that's one of those really painful things that we all have to remember is that there is a part of us that is going out after our mirror, or we're going after somebody that's very comfortable to us, because we've dated them 100 times before. So, we have to look at all those types of things when we do that. So that's what I'll just say about the whole hard and soft thing. I don't think it's necessarily, because Erica says lots of different personalities and everybody's going to do it a different way. But what you're looking for is a man that will take the lead. That's really it. You just look, if that is what you want, and I don't think you have to have it, but if that's is what you want, you're looking for a man to take the lead. Despite his personality, you're looking for him to take the lead. So if Tara is saying, okay, we need to clean out the garage, the stuff on the garage floor, he should be like, baby, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to get it done. Either I'm gonna put some kitty litter down there to get it up, or I'm gonna call somebody that will know how to fix it, or my boy's gonna come over in a week and he gonna show me how to fix it, or I'm gonna Google it and I'm gonna get it done. But some kind of way it needs to get done. But I will say, like I said, if he's the type that has done it before and now he stops doing it, he might be in a stressed position. So we want to make sure that we're giving people grace, in these types of situations. So now we want to call on somebody else that hasn't talked. So who wants to be it? Now you need to unmute before I say your name. Okay, because I'm gonna call you out if you don't say nothing. Okay, Linda, L-Y, Linda.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So how do you feel about all of this?
Well, I've been listening, and I'm a strong woman myself. To me, I think I think a man should automatically know his responsibility in a relationship. So if you know your responsibility, you should know what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do it, I will automatically take charge to do it myself. So I don't know if I'm wrong for doing that, because I was married. Unfortunately, things didn't work out. So I've been divorced and for 4 years, and I've been on my own doing it on, everything on my own. So I don't really need someone to do anything for me, just to be there to support. But if you say you're going to do something, you must man up and do it.
That's it. Simple as that.
Okay, well, I can live with that.
It's so simple. It's just so simple.
So simple. Okay.
So much attitude in that, Tara.
I'm sorry.
Flashbacks over there.
Because I be saying it in a nicer way.
I understand.
It ain't like I'm just at you. I ain't telling you. I'm asking. But then when I step up, it has to be a problem. You should have did it from the jump.
Right.
I mean, I can say, Tara, I'm with you. But like I said, again, we have to understand where this comes from. We have to understand, how we can find these guys. We have to understand the whole thing, because just like when I was saying before about, and I really didn't go into this, but a lot of women who are training their daughters to be strong, many times they're training their sons to be soft. And I've talked to a lot of women that admitted that they do that they protect their sons, that they baby their sons. And what do you think these baby sons do? They grow up to be the same guys that you all will date, or your future daughters will date. See, my dad, the way he taught me was like this. And this is how I talk to men, and I even tell women, if you have sons, this is what I encourage you how to teach them and how to work with them. My dad said it simply like this. He was like, Joseph, when you are 18, you got three choices. You can get the heck up out of my house and I'll try to get you a little job in an apartment. You can go to the military or you can go to college. That's it. But you're getting the heck up out of my house. Okay, I was taught from the very beginning that one day I will be over a family and that I have to take care of that family. That it is my responsibility. It is not a woman's responsibility to raise my children and to be in control in my house. It is my responsibility, 100% my responsibility.
Bless you.
Okay, I was taught that from the very beginning. But see, what I find a lot of times is, and like I said, I've talked to a lot of different women now, okay, and many of them will admit that they do not teach their sons that way. That they will have 24-year-old boys that are still sitting in the house. Okay, and I've told them, I say, if I had kids and my daughter was 27 and 28 and she wanted to be in my house, she's welcome to stay in the house. She's welcome to stay in the house until she's married. But my son got to get the hell on. Because boys need that kind of structure. That is why so many people need to send their boys to the military. To straighten them up. And so those boys will recognize what it is to be a man. I hate to say this kind of stuff, but I'm being real. If y'all want to be realistic, let's be real. Where do you think these soft boys come from?
Well, I think a lot of
Mamas.
mama's boys. No, mine definitely wasn't mama's boys. I already know what his issue was.
See, that's my point, though. My point is a lot of times they are mama's boys. Well, these mama's boys turn into the very men that you're talking about. Why won't he take control? Well, because mama used to do that for me. And now you just mama number two.
That's it. Don't felt like it too.
Okay, so even though you're mama, you have to look at your boy and be like, why I got to do this for you? You get off your butt. Go cut that yard. Go trim them bushes. Wash my car. In fact, you should want to do that for me because I'm your mama. And you should be teaching them right now, the woman in your life, you're supposed to want to do for her. You're supposed to want to take care of her. But you have to teach it. It has to be taught. Okay, if somebody does not teach these boys this, how the heck you think they're going to get it in their head? They don't just pop up at 30 and then now, God has given me vision.
You have to know what that's like first, right? I mean, I grew up I grew up where my parents were divorced most of my childhood, excuse me, but my dad, my uncles, they were all divorced, but they still were very much a part of their kids' lives. And so they were still the dad. They still, like when we lived in Chicago, my uncles would come and bring us groceries and all that. We never had to get in the car during snow times. I mean, they did all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I had a very clear indication in my mind of what you were talking about, Linda, of what men are supposed to do. But not everybody has that experience. I mean, like for my kids, the generation that my kids and my family are, most of them are female. And so there's not uncles and stuff like that to kind of get that indication. And so unless there's a dad or like my father as their grandfather, something like that, they don't have a model. And my son was small, he was, I don't know how he understood this, but he was like 6 or 7 years old. And he was like, Mom, who am I supposed to be like? Because my husband had passed. And so he knew that he needed to model himself after someone, but who is that supposed to be? Mm-hmm. And he understood it wasn't me. So I had a fear for myself that my son would model himself after someone that I did not want, because that's what young guys sometimes do, is they find somebody that's just a little bit older than them, that's still a boy themselves. And that's what they model themselves after. And they are, boys. So they're having that kind of a relationship with a mom and being taken care of. And so they get into a relationship with a woman where they're being taken care of. And I'm looking for somebody's, to take care of me, and I'm going to live with them, and I'll just, give them some good stuff, and they'll, work and they'll do everything. And so it's like some type of odd mother-son relationship, even though they're an adult now and it's sex as opposed to, mother-son love. And when I fixed the car, my son was with me. When I fixed the air conditioner, whatever I did, when I cut the grass, all of that stuff. So now Jay, he is 24 in my house. And we have these conversations all the time where I'm talking to him about, because he's very frustrated about being here, and he's been in and out, But my fear, the softness that I showed him, was I was afraid that if I didn't give him some leeway, then he would do the wrong thing to be independent. And I wanted him to always not feel like, okay, I have to choose things that are going to get me in adult situations that I can't get out of, rather than, okay, if it gets that bad, just come home. So, but he's very, clear about the fact that he does not belong here. And he does, that he has to fix my car and cut the grass and do all of those things. But that our goal, what we're working towards, and I say we because I'm trying to help him to develop, budgeting and stuff like that, is for him to be independent and be on his own. But I know that there's a lot of folks that, that don't do that for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's because they don't have a father. And so you feel bad, that situation arose. But it is important to recognize that not everybody knows that automatically because they didn't have that model,
Right.
to know this is how men is supposed to be. This is what they're supposed to do. And so when they get into a relationship, they don't, I date a lot of guys that didn't know how to work on cars. And so I'm like, okay, hold this clamp, do this, do that. I didn't know either because I had, my uncles to do that stuff or whatever. But as some other ladies have said, it needed to get done. I didn't have the money to take it. So I was like, okay, let me figure this thing out. So, that just is, something you have to keep in the back of your mind. Like, okay, did somebody model this for you? Do you know this from experience? Or are you doing what you know? Are you doing what you understand? And I have to let you know what my expectations are so that you can decide if you want to meet them or not.
Well, I agree with everything you said, but I will say if you have your son and he's trying to figure stuff out, he is welcome to join this group. He is welcome to give me a call. And I know this is a rough one for a lot of women, but you can join the military up to 40 years old. The military will pay for your education.
That's his backup plan.
He does not have to go to the Army or to the Marines. He can go to the Air Force.
Yeah.
Air Force is like the safest place in the world because all they're gonna do is send a plane and drop bombs. Or he can be in the Navy because the Navy is really safe as well. He's just gonna be out there by himself with a whole lot of men. But those are really great places. If I had to do my life over again, I probably would have went to the military. I know a lot of people were in there 20 years and they retired. Retire at 20 years. Okay, that is awesome. And they're already pulling retirement and then they get a second life. But military helps a lot of men that, are trying to find that leadership. But it's like I said, he's welcome to join this group, because I love talking to young men. You're like, no, you're gonna let him join the group. If you want me to talk to him,
you could talk to him, but what I'll say is that both of my kids are 20 and 24, and both of them feel like they got too many other things to do than be in a relationship. My son feels like it's too expensive, but he has considered the military, but because there's so many people that are interested in the military, they're much more strict in admission. So he's probably about 30, 40 pounds overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And
he go in there, he ain't gonna be like that for long.
Well, that's the thing is that so it used to be that they would help you, like they would have like a mini boot camp to help you lose weight. But now they're just like, yeah, we got plenty of other people. We don't need to do that.
Well,
He's tested to go in, so he knows like he could get into the Air Force and stuff like that, and that type of thing. But what I'm trying to get him to do is to go to school so he can go in as an officer, because because he's having problems with the weight thing. And I mean, it's not a lot of weight, but he can't get it together. So
I'm just saying it's just a lot of different ways that he can handle it. So there's a lot of opportunities, and a lot of times we as people, we don't recognize all the opportunities that are actually out here for us. So that's kind of why I was, just bringing it up. But real quick, let's pick on somebody else. So who else hasn't talked? Miss Lori hasn't talked. Yes, you, Lori. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I have been listening and I've heard so many great things. Lisa practically just told my story when she spoke. I've never been married, and I've been single for a little bit, and I'm a strong woman. I've had friends, female, male friends, actually up until like a couple of days ago, that who have said that my strength can be intimidating. And I wonder if that's why I'm still single right now, but I definitely do. For me, it can be tough because I know I can be soft. I do have that softness about me, but it's hard to show that softness to somebody who I don't view as a leader. If I don't trust you to be that leader, if I don't trust you to be strong, because I've tried it, for me, it's hard because I've tried it. And it's like, okay, I'm going to give you your head. And like Tara was saying, I get to a point where it's like, look, I've given you your head. I've tried to let you be the man and you keep failing at it. So let me just step up and do what I got to do.
Right.
Let me just do. And my attitude would always be, look, because I work in corporate. And I've always held positions where it's like, okay, look, I'm in quote unquote the boardroom all day. I don't want to come home and have to be CEO too.
Amen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And and it's been my lot for the most part, not all of them, but the guys that I've dated, I've always made more money than them. Right. And I don't know if that's been an issue, but on their part, because if I'm dating you, obviously it's not an issue on my part. But my ask is, right, like I said, all day long, I'm making decisions, I'm doing negotiations, I'm doing this. I don't want to come home and have to make those decisions too. I don't want to come home and have to be CEO in my house. And if that's what I have to do, then I don't need you here. You need to go. But one of the things that I will say that I have learned is that I can't have unvoiced expectations, right? If I expect a certain type of behavior from the man that I'm dealing with, then it is my responsibility to say, look, this is who I am. These are some of my expectations. This is what I view my man as doing, and for me, doing for us. And once I give you those expectations, it's up to you. Do you want to meet them? Can you meet them? And if you can't meet them, be upfront and say, you know what, that's too much. I can't do that. Then I could say, it was wonderful meeting you. I wish you luck. So you're not wasting my time. Because that's where I am today. Don't waste my time. So that's all I got to say.
No, I mean, that was good. I love it. I love it. And I like the fact that Tashawn just talked to Tanya, because I agree, with Fatima just coming in now. I agree, with that, because I know we're running out of time now, because I actually have to leave out early. But I guess, like I said, if Tashawn wants to take it over, I'll let her take it over. So while Reader 777, you want to say something? Let's see if Wild Reader over there can unmute herself. or himself. I'm not sure.
I was a little busy, but I can't unmute.
Okay. So how are you feeling about all that you're hearing?
Well, the thing, I guess I have a different approach to things. I do have a Christian background, but I think gone are the days where we say he's going to be the head, because what's going to actually happen is we're not going to have men in our households, because if we're expecting them to come in and lead, there's a whole lot of them that are not able to do that. And so what we have to do as women, what I have done as a woman, is I have said to myself, I don't mind if you leave, but if you need help with that, that's what I'm here for. Because if he can't do it and I'm expecting him to do it, and in some situations I'm stronger and I'm able to lead in certain things, I'm going to do that. Because if I wait for him to be the lead in everything, it's not going to happen. It's just not. So what I have done is you lead where you're strong and I lead where I'm strong.
Yeah. You actually missed the original presentation, but you know what she's talking about. We talked about in the presentation.
Okay. So I guess I'm right on track then. I just heard some people, making some comments. So I guess that's where, this happy medium in this new day and age, this is what we're doing. Well, so it has worked for me, but I just feel like if I wait, I'll probably be 60 to find someone that's going to be exactly what I need and be the leadership that I need. And then I probably won't need leadership because I'm retiring now.
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm clear, for, like I say, people that are popping in and, kind of what she's talking about. Because we talked about in the presentation, there's really, at least I was believing that there's 4, different routes you can take. And so her route is more of a mixture of the best friend / just letting herself lead, and being 100% okay with it. So, that's more of that route. I just want to make sure that I, put an exclamation point on that to make sure that we okay.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Thank you.
Lisa has unmuted herself. So does she have something to say?
Oh, no, I must have unmuted myself by mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get over there to Kokila because she's been standing up and looking nice this whole time. And here you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. I would say the main thing that I look for now is trust. A guy having trust for me and me having trust for a guy. I think that's like the main thing for me. So that's it.
Okay, I could dig that. I think that's one of the things that keeps coming up, trust. But again, I'll take us back to make sure that we are putting it all into the same boat, which is, when you're dating, you're gathering data, which was a good term to say. And that is where you build your trust from. So it's very important that during the dating process, you're analyzing this guy. Don't get so like, dang, he fine, and dang, I liked what he got on, and dang, he smelled good. Who cares about that? It's like, okay, boo, what you gonna do? Don't be a jerk about it. You still need to be nice during the dates. The dates don't need to be interviews, literally. But a date and a first conversations, that's exactly what they are. You're really trying to get an understanding of who the person is. And if you are that strong type of woman, then you really should be looking for certain things. Because even if the guy is soft, remember, he can still take charge in certain things. Jen, did you unmute yourself? Or was that just Zoom blipping around? Okay, well, she's still blipping. So I'm going to go to Fatima because she hasn't said anything.
I can't get them on. You could repeat the 4 types of relationships.
Okay, I'll go over there real quick. I'm gonna let Jen talk since she's unmuted herself now. Go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say for me it's trust, but it's also being able to feel secure and safe in the relationship. Because if I need help with something and I ask for help and the man can't help, or if I see that there's something very important that has to be done in the relationship and he's just not doing it. Like I'm thinking with my ex-husband, specifically with money, where he would spend the money on the things that he wanted to do for his entertainment, his son, but I couldn't trust him to set the money aside to pay the mortgage. Then that's when I am forced to get into a leadership position that I don't want to be in the first place, because I am a strong woman and I know how to fall back when I need to fall back. And like another person was saying how, you know, there's some activities I'm stronger in and I'll lead and they're stronger in and they'll lead. That to me is perfect where you have that balance. But if I just can't trust you and I cannot feel secure that you're actually going to take care of the things that are super important, then I'm going to have to take on that leadership role, and that upsets the relationship dynamic. And I'm going to be unhappy because I don't want to be in those shoes. And you're going to be unhappy because you're going to feel, this is like the general view, not anybody personally, but like they're going to feel like they're being emasculated because now something that they're supposed to be doing, so to speak, I'm having to take over that role. And I don't like that, because I have this habit of getting boys. You know, it's a 48-year-old, you know, body, but it's a, you know, 18-year-old mind, or it's a 35-year-old body and it's, you know, a 21-year-old mind. And I'm not playing this game. Another quick thing that someone was mentioning is I have a 5-year-old son. I'm a single mom. His father is not the strongest male role model. So I'm thankful that between my father and my ex's father, my son has very, very strong male role models who, you know, show him like it's the man's job to work on the car, and he can actually see them out there working on the car. It's the man's job to fix things around the house. It's the man's job to provide by doing X, Y, and Z. My dad will have these conversations with him. His other grandfather will have these conversations with him. And even now at 5, I'll ask him to do something in the house. And if he gives me pushback, I said, but you're mommy's big man. You're the man of the house. I need you to help mommy. And I'm trying to, at this young age, instill in him that one of his things is he's got to be there to provide for the woman and to take care of her and help her when she asks for it. Not sit around and complain about the fact that he wants to finish his Lego project, but here, go take this, do this for mommy, then you can come back to it. Because I don't need him being the weak man that my ex-husband was, or one of my ex-boyfriends was, where, you know, he's in his 20s and his mom is literally still mothering him, and get into that dynamic that I mothered him. I don't want that. I want my son at 18, 19 years old being able to be strong enough and mature enough that if he can go out into the world on his own, if that's what he chooses, he can do that without making a woman a mother instead, as opposed to a wife. Y'all get what I'm saying? And it's tough, and I get it because I'm very strong. Like, if there's a problem, I want to fix it. If there's a solution for something that I can come up with, I'm going to be like, ooh, let me do this. But having to fall back even with my child and ask for help and then let him figure things out and get completely frustrated and then come and ask for help has been a challenge for me, because it's my baby. I want to do everything for him, but it's like, if I'm going to develop him into a strong man, I can't hold his hand 24/7 because he's already a mama's boy, but he doesn't need to be a mama's boy. So that's all I got.
No, I mean, I think that's great. Thanks for sharing. But again, you know, like I say, for all the ladies that have sons, honestly, I'm really honest when I say, if you want me to speak to them, I will. If you want to know my views on raising boys, you're welcome to ask me privately, because I have no problems with, you know, telling you exactly how I feel about that. But, you know, just kind of like, you know, I think everybody's saying that's on this call, everybody seems to be very mature when it comes to that. Boys, you just have to be hard on them. And it doesn't matter what society says, Tanya, because I know Tanya brought that up. And Tashawn, you know, was really gracious in the way that she answered that. But it doesn't matter what society says. Who gives a flip about society? You know, it's just like spanking. You know, people be like, oh, you spank your children. Oh, you're an evil person. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, I'm gonna privately spank mine, and then I'm gonna let them know. I'm like, okay, well, you know, if you call child services and the little people come take you, ain't gonna be no more Christmas. You know, ain't gonna be no more sitting up for child services. You know, so you need to, you know, think about that before you try to make a call. That your life is so horrible. But the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter. You know, what society says. The bottom line is, you have to do what's best, you know, for your children. You have to do what's best for people, you know, that you care about. So, you know, for me, like I said, I just know with my sister and me, my sister's older than me, and we were both under a dual parent household until I was 19. And when I went to college, a year after college, my mom divorced my dad, and then they both went their own separate ways. And so I was under both. And my mom babied me, as a lot of moms do, but my dad was hard on me. And my dad was soft on my sister. And my mom was trying to, you know, harden my sister up. And those are the real dynamics of marriage. And my grandmother, and some people have heard me say this before, my grandmother gave me really great advice, probably the only great advice that she ever gave me, which was, you know, you have to listen to both your mom and your dad, and your mom and your dad are going to fight a lot, but it's okay, because what they're trying to do is come up with the best solution for you. And anytime that you have a monarchy, and if you're a single mom, you're a monarchy, you know, there will be certain things that are missed. And so I think everybody knows that. I'm not trying to put down single moms. I think you guys are some of the best people in the world. And I love you all so much. But like I said, when it comes to boys, just do not be soft on your boys. You know, do a woman in the future a favor. Because otherwise there'll be another Jay 20 years from now sitting around with another 20 women, and all those women, I can't find no good man, and all these men out here soft and they want me to take control. So do those women a favor and be hard on your boys. Constantly let them know they have to lead. They have to be, you know, over their families, blah, blah, blah. And then that is going to resonate in their mind. And so when they get out and they start to date, that is going to be the way that they're going to try to move in as far as that's concerned. So before I get off and pass it over, anybody else have anything really quick they want to say? Bye-bye, Lisa.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Cammie, I saw your face appear one time. Did you have anything you wanted to say real quick? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
I forgot. It was a while back, so I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. No
I just
problem.
want these men that can lead, because I find the ones that are inconsistent. So.
Hey, I get it. I get it. Like I said, I mean, that's one of those things we just have to make sure that we're paying attention to. And that's the inconsistency. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. Bye-bye, Lori. Thanks for showing up. But inconsistency is something you definitely want to look for when you're dating. Look for inconsistencies. The guy should be consistent. Even if he's going through problems, they should be consistent problems. It should be things coming out the blue. One day, you know, he's saying, I got a flat tire. And then the next day, he's saying, well, you know, somebody at my job. The next day, something else. Because these things like that do happen to people. And we haven't really gotten into generational curses and what I've even learned, minor curses.